Hello. All right. Welcome to the Surge Plan. It is a pleasure to welcome you, and it's a pleasure to be able to instruct and put together something that is going to help change, modify, improve a whole pile of areas within your life. So, just to remind you, we are going to be focusing on energy, metabolism, gut health, neurotransmitter function, sleep, weight loss. Oh my goodness, it's going to go on and on, right? So we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. All right. So let me jump over and I'm going to share a screen with you real quick. And we are going to be using this bad boy. All right, let's do it to it. So welcome to the Surge Plan. Hope you all can read that right there. Just kidding, I know you can't. All righty. So what is in this program? So first, there's a members only site, which you're gonna need to, once you've paid and you've become a part of this program, you are gonna come into the members site, you click on the members tab, and you will then be given access to jump into the program and start to be able to download some of the different ebooks, etc. Okay? There are scientific videos that we're putting together. There's a private Facebook group where you can interact, you can ask questions, where I participate every day and help people to solve some of the more simple problems and some of the complex problems. We're going to be doing weekly Zoom calls, which are live. And the first 100 people that jump on that program or jump on the Zoom call are going to be participating in that together. All right, so that means there's an incentive to try and get on there early. There is a lot of content. Now, please understand, it is not meant for you to jump into this day one and to start to read all of the content and to feel overwhelmed. So we've tried to break it up into phases to make things a little bit more palatable because there's a lot of content here. So let's start kind of at the beginning. How does this plan work? Well, first, let's take a 30-day period. And frankly, since you have access to all the information for a whole year, you should never feel pressured as though, wait a minute, I'm on day 11 and I'm confused, or I'm on day 39 and such result hasn't happened. That's okay. You have the entire year to allow yourself to achieve your goals. All righty? So phase one is day 1 through 10. Now, when you first come into the program, our focus is on cleansing. And we're going to go over that in detail on another presentation like this. But phase one is cleansing. And that's where we are going to take your gut and intestinal system and we are going to modify the existing bacterial colonies that are there. It's highly likely that because most of us do, we don't have an optimal amount of bacteria, or not amount, I apologize. We don't have the optimal bacteria for health in our gut. And unfortunately, that leads to a whole pile of problems down the road. And most of our gut bacteria was formed by the time we were about 6 months to 12 months old. So it could well be that by the time you were 1 year old, you already had the wrong stuff, right? So what we're going to do is you're going to jump into phase 10. And for example, you could jump in and start doing a bone broth cleanse for the first 4 days. You're going to jump in and do nothing but the bone broth diet, which is in the manual, which you can see right there. Once you jump into this little bone broth diet, that's your first 4 days. At the end of those 4 days, you're now going to start a high fiber and smoothie cleanse diet for up until day 21. And then that's phase 3. That's kind of a fun phase. But so the next, between day 5 and day 21, you're doing a very high fiber diet and a smoothie cleanse. Okay? Alrighty, so now let's jump into phase 2. Phase 2 is day 11 through 20. And phase 2 is our fitness phase. We're going to talk about that more, of course, in another presentation, which you'll also have access to. But that fitness phase is critical. It allows you to start to learn different techniques that are safe for you to be doing, that are also minimal in time, meaning you're going to be doing maybe 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon, and you get to jump in and make those a part of your life. Okay, there's several books on that you're going to look through, and you're going to follow the protocol that's best for you. The last and final phase is our habit formation. It's where we're going to start to work with the neurotransmitters, and we are going to be maximizing or optimizing neurotransmitter function. That's where we start to focus on healthy sleep. That's where we're focusing on a change in mood and emotion, because the first phase and second phase have now amplified the neurotransmitter production and allowed your body to be at a whole new level where you can now actually feel much healthier. Okay? All right, so phase 1, look at the cleansing phase like we talked about. The 4-day bone broth cleanse, or meaning, what that means, just so you know, is on day 1, you've gone to the store, you've prepped yourself, and you've made your broth, which contains, and it's in the book, it tells you exactly what to do. But you're going to make a bone broth that contains some high fiber foods in it, like celery and carrots, onions, and you can eat those and drink that. That's all you're eating or drinking for 4 days. At the end of those 4 days, you're now going to slowly move your way into a high fiber diet, which is in the high fiber diet manual, as well as you're going to start to incorporate cleansing smoothies. And that's critical, because now until day 21, what you're going to want to be doing, and frankly, it's the rest of the high fiber diet is really what we're going to be consuming for the rest of our life. So you want to become quite adept at this, because a high fiber meal plan is optimal for our bodies with the appropriate fats and proteins. Okie doke. You'll notice down below where it says the 30-day success journal. On day 1, you're going to want to tell yourself, be very honest. What are your goals? Write them down so you can determine over those 30 days, did you achieve it? Did you hit your goals? Does that make sense? You also have a 30-day guide that's going to explain each of these phases for you so that you feel comfortable that you know where you are. So say you're on day 7 and you're thinking, oh my goodness, what foods do I eat? Or what should I be doing? Or can I exercise right now? That'll all be answered in there. So there you go. So let's move on to phase 2, which is fitness. Now, most common question I get asked is, can I start doing the fitness program of this from day 1? And the answer is sure, of course you can. Those individuals that frankly feel healthy enough or have enough energy to do their fitness protocol while cleansing, go for it. My recommendation is you're not going to want to start the fitness protocol until after day 5 or 6. The reason for that is that in those first few days, you're going to be pretty tired. You are literally resetting your brain's neurotransmitter function, and you're trying to optimize your metabolism in general. And so your body's going to feel pretty beat up. In fact, you may feel like you have the flu. You may feel like you're kind of sick or even kind of grumpy. And that's normal because you're changing the neurotransmitters. Okie doke? So phase 2 is where you start your fitness protocol, and this doesn't end. Notice how it says day 11 through 20. We're just talking about the phase 2 of introduction of fitness, the introduction of higher fats, proteins, and your high fiber diet continues. And that's when you start getting into your neurotransmitter optimization. Make sense? All right. So then the final phase, which is day 21 through 30, we're now teaching the body, literally on a chemical level, to create new habits. We want to retrain how your neuroreceptors communicate. We want your body to be craving certain types of foods, to be craving healthy fats from like avocados, for instance. We want your body to be doing that. Phase 3 also includes the recipe guide. So you're now going to be incorporating certain foods that prior to day 21 you would not have been eating. There will be certain food groups in there. For instance, you'll see some of the wheats. You'll see some of the breads and other things that you were not eating before. Those are now okay in moderation from day 21 on. My recommendation is to stay with the high fiber diet forever, because it's not hard to do. All it means is you're increasing your amount of fiber intake as a percentage of your total diet. Okay? So you just want to look at your total amount of fiber you're getting every day. It's not too hard to do. So you're going to follow the recipe guide. You're going to now embrace the fitness plan. And now we're starting personal development. We're now going to get into habit formation, the personal attributes that allow you to achieve and maintain success. And this is where you stabilize your neurotransmitter production. So all that work you put into getting your neurotransmitters to where they are, you are now stabilizing it. So it's critical. So it's a lot of fun. Then during this whole time, you're now connected to the Spartan team. So when you've gone into the members page, you'll see a little thing that says, I am a Spartan, right? And you get to click on there, and you'll then get access to the Spartan team page. And that's where you can share information one with another. So jump in with both feet. There is a ton to learn. And just remember that your goal is something that you should be proud of. It's something that you have put a lot of effort and time into. This program, like I said, is you have access to the whole year. So if you feel like for any reason by week 3 or week 5 that maybe you haven't hit your entire goal, hey, it's okay. Why? Because you have the ability to keep pushing on, and you'll nail it. You will nail it. So that being said, we modify the content throughout every given month. There will be new books every week. There's going to be new content constantly flowing in, and some of the books will be modified given new science. Does that make sense? So that's one of the reasons we don't have any of our materials printed, because then we can modify them consistently. I'll give you I won't give you an example because it just happened last week, but it's okay. We modified one of the books that people were using already because the chemistry of one of the seeds that we were using, they found that in higher amounts, one of the seeds was maybe not as effective. So all we did is we replaced it with the new understanding. So isn't that cool? We can go in and modify things. So jump in with both feet, embrace it, expect ups and downs, and just push for more ups. So there you go. It's been my pleasure. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I think what we'll do now is I will post this thing for you guys to jump in and look at and respond to and all that kind of stuff. But in general, it is our pleasure to be a part of this program with you. And I cannot wait to be more of a benefit. So please start sending in the questions, jump on those Zoom calls, read, educate yourself, and let's have a killer year. So thank you very much. And bye-bye.